hymns.
Okay, it looks like we've got a good-sized audience here with us live today, so that's exciting. Welcome, everybody, to our October webinar. It's entitled Braille Sense U2, Exam Mode and Function Lock, Vital Test-Taking Tools for Instructors. Our presenter today is Dave Wilkinson. And I'll just quickly tell you some of the things that we're going to cover today, and then I'll hand the mic over to Dave. We're going to talk about VNC mode, and what that is. It's a new feature that was just released in our latest firmware upgrade. So if you don't have VNC mode or you don't know what it is yet, we'll go over that and we'll explain how to use that feature. We're going to talk also about exam mode, what it is, why you want to use it, how it works, and then function lock, which is different from exam mode. So Dave will tell you how those two things are different and what scenarios you'd want to use either of those or both of those. And then also what to do if you lose your password, some top secret information as far as turning on and off the function lock and retrieving password. Quick intro to hymns. I think everyone who's joined us here is probably familiar with us already. But quickly, we are a U.S.-based company. All of our sales and service and support is here in the U.S. If your device, heaven forbid, needs to be repaired, Texas, and you'll get it back pretty quickly. We are a customer-centric organization, so a lot of these features that Dave is going to talk about today were ideas that came from you. This is stuff that teachers, students, and other people have asked us for, and we've responded by making it happen. And we are AT users ourselves. A good percentage of our staff, maybe almost half, are visually impaired themselves or using some sort of assistive technology to perform their jobs. So we understand both sides of the equation, not only as a manufacturer, but also as the end users. So Dave, if you want to take it from here and talk about VNC mode.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this afternoon. It's great to be here. I haven't done one of these in a couple of months, and it feels good to be back. So thank you all for tuning in. VNC mode is available in firmware version 8.6, which just came out a week or two ago. If you have not updated your Braille Sense to the latest firmware, now is a really good time to do it. Not only did we introduce VNC mode, but we have a couple of other things in there. We have a math symbol select, which allows you to choose Nimith or UEB math symbols from context-sensitive help in the word processor and just press enter and have them inserted in your document. And we did a bunch of maintenance things. We had some issues with Bookshare that we fixed, etc. For the record, the Bookshare fix is available for all units, the Plus, the On-Hand, the Voice Sense, whereas VNC mode, the Math Symbol Select, is available for only the U2 Mini and U2 Clarity models. You can update online just by going to your Utilities menu and then pressing U for Upgrade. Or you can upgrade by downloading the firmware and going through the offline method. That method is explained in our release notes, which are on our webpage, hymns-inc.com. What VNC mode allows you to do is to use any tablet that you want, an Android device, an iOS device, what you choose. I would recommend against a Galaxy 7, but it's for a reason it would work. I just don't recommend it. I'd like to keep you. So anyway, but you can download an app called VNC Viewer from either the Google Play Store or from the App Store, the iTunes App Store. You install VNC Viewer on your computer. We recommend very strongly VNC Viewer made by Real VNC. You have to have both your tablet and your Braille Sense logged into the same Wi-Fi network. And from there, the easiest way to learn how to do it is to watch our video done by yours truly. So it will be fantastic. But we have a link here for the video. What you're essentially doing is typing the IP address on your Braille Sense into your tablet and from there the two connect. But it's explained in a much more logical way on the videos, so by all means tune in, which is a good chance to remind you. I'm sorry?
I was just going to say a quick note on the videos. We do have the YouTube channel, and you can find all the videos there. But also, the easier way to find the videos that you're most interested in is to go to the HIMSS website, hims-inc.com, and then navigate to the product that you are interested in. So if you go to products and then you go to Braille Sense U2, there is now a video tab. And so all the videos that we have on YouTube that are relevant to the Braille Sense U2 are embedded in that page, and just a lot easier to find and filter through that way.
Thank you. Also, note that we've posted a number of new videos recently on our site, and that's growing all the time. So if you haven't seen what you're looking for, check back. There's a good chance that we're going to add it. So now moving on to exam mode, and this was a webinar topic that was specifically requested by a customer, so thank you. And it seemed like a really good idea to do it, and we haven't seen exam mode utilized as much as we would like, so here we are. Exam mode is available on, as of firmware version 8.5, it is available on the Braille Sense U2 models, along with our older Braille Sense Plus models, so that's the Braille Sense U2, U2 Mini, U2 QWERTY, Braille Sense Plus, Braille Sense On Hand, Braille Sense QWERTY Plus. And what exam mode does is basically lock out everything on the Braille Sense in one whack so that the Braille Sense can be used as a Braille display with a screen reader such as Window Eyes or JAWS or NVDA or System Access or VoiceOver on the Mac side. Or with VoiceOver or Google Talk, for that matter. So anything that you can use as a screen reader, the Braille Sense is now just a dumb Braille display. All other features are locked out, and they are password protected. So in order to activate exam mode, moving on to function lock, which isn't quite as extreme as exam mode. Function lock is only available on the U2 models. So if you're wanting to use this on your Braille Sense Plus or On Hand or any of that type of stuff, it's a great time to update. So you can talk to our folks afterwards and we'll get you updated. But function lock, what it does is it lets you lock out specific features on the Braille Sense so that, for example, if I want to lock out the calculator and maybe the internet or social networking, anything like that, I can do that while leaving in check, leaving available the word processor, email, you name it. There are over 80 different features that can be locked out or allowed to be enabled using function lock, and some of them include things like whether the speech is on or off, so that you can lock the unit where speech is turned off if you want to make sure that the student is actually reading more off the Braille display. We can lock our Wi-Fi or our Bluetooth so that the student can't turn on Wi-Fi or turn on Bluetooth. What you cannot lock out is the ability to, turn the unit on, off, that type of stuff, just real basic things. Obviously, you also can't lock out the menu manager, which you would have to have a password in order to change at this point, but you've got to have access to the menu manager in order to make those changes. So basically, the difference between exam mode and function lock is that function lock will let you unlock or lock some things while leaving other things untouched on the Braille Sense. And exam mode goes all the way. It's the total whack and one swipe idea, and it just eliminates everything except for being used as a Braille display. Function lock is also a really good way for parents to exercise some control. If they don't want their child to have access to Facebook, to have access to Twitter, maybe to YouTube, they can lock those functions out using function lock.
And then the last thing on our agenda today is what to do if you lose your password.
One thing that I do want to add, and one thing that I skipped on here, when you exit function lock, you do have to go back into the menu manager and turn the features back on that you had turned off. We don't turn them on for you, and I should have had that on here. And I'm noticing, of course, now that it's a little late that we didn't have that. But you do want to go back into the menu manager and actually turn features back on. So we'll unlock it and allow you to do it, but we make you actually go into the media center or into the menu manager to turn the features back on. As for your last bit on what happens if you lose your password, or maybe it's a new school year and there's a different teacher and you don't know the password from last year, or you just forgot over the summer, or any other series of things that can happen that would cause the password to become a thing of the past, you can call HIMSS tech support at 888-520-4467, and they can recover your password for you. They use your serial number, and they use a software program that runs your serial number through who knows what, some sort of magic stuff that goes well beyond me. And they can give you a series of letters and numbers that's really, really long that you can type in, and it resets the password to nothing. So if you do lose your password or you're not sure what it is, if you call HIMSS tech support, they can help you out, and they can reset your unit back to where it doesn't have a password. We've been working with a number of – I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can you explain, too, why we don't have a simple password reset that the end user can do?
Because our end users are cagey. Some of our end users are the people we're trying to lock these features away from so they can use these features for standardized tests. And if I was one of these end users and I was using a Braille fence in school, I'd find out how to get that password back, and I'd be off to the races. So it's so that we actually can so that we can have these units be used for standardized testing and other testing where we can guarantee that the student can't have access to information. It's also worth noting that a lot of what we've just gone over is not in the user guide, and again, that's because we're trying to keep this out of the hands of folks who would only do bad things with it. Maybe not intentionally, but bad things.
Right. And on the recorded session for this webinar, we are going to sort of clip out those instructions. We are not going to post those instructions to our website with the webinar. We'll crop those out. So if anyone is listening to this on YouTube after the fact, email support@hims-inc.com, and we will send you the PowerPoint that does have the instructions, just as soon as we verify that you are in fact a teacher and not a student.
And again, nothing against you students. We're trying to help you use your Braille fences during tests. So this is what we can do.
Yeah. As long as we keep them safe and locked up, then the schools and the teachers feel better about letting the students use their assistive technology, which is in everybody's best interest.
Absolutely.
So, and then Dave, do you have anything else to add, or should we open it up for questions?
Let's open it up for questions. This is a very simple procedure that usually leads to lots of questions. So let's just take it away and see what happens.
Okay. As far as asking questions, I see we've got at least one question in the chat window so far. You can type your question into the chat window, and then I'll read it out loud for Dave to answer. Or you can unmute yourself in the participant window, and you can ask your question aloud. So we have a question from Neil first. Neil says, I came in just a few minutes late. I wanted to make sure I understand this. Exam mode is everything locked out, rendering the device to be basically a Braille display, and the function option allows you to choose specific features?
That is correct. You are absolutely correct. If we had bells and whistles, you'd be hearing them about now.
And then, Dave, do you know, are there any limitations as far as the standardized testing goes? Are there certain devices you can use or can't use?
Our understanding is that Braille displays can be used essentially if they are dumb devices. So that and you have to be able to show that they are dumb devices, that they can't be tinkered with, that there can't be other information added to them. Function lock is more geared towards specific school settings if teachers are wanting to lock out specific features for testing that's not necessarily standardized but happening in a school environment. It's also worth noting here that exam mode will be coming to the Braille Edge any moment now in the next literally few days. The firmware is done, so it will be released in the next couple of few days, and you will have exam mode available on the Braille Edge as well. So again, if you're listening to this YouTube after the fact, it's already there.
Right. So the schools essentially get to choose what devices their students use as long as they qualify feature-wise. They're not locked into one brand or one model.
No.
Okay. That's a question I think comes up quite often. So again, if there are any other questions, type them in the chat window. We'll hang out for a few minutes and see if anything comes through. You can type them in the chat window and I'll ask it aloud, or you can unmute yourself and ask for yours out loud.
If anyone is having problems with the chat window, which I know has been an issue in the past, if you want to text questions to me, you can at area code 918-527-0688. Again, that's 918-527-0688, and I'll be happy to answer your questions.
And if a question comes up later, too, because I know I don't always come up with the questions right when I should, it'll hit me later today when I'm doing something completely unrelated. So, of course, you can email support at hims-inc.com. You can also email webinars at hims-inc.com. And then Dave and I actually both get those emails. So if you come up with a question later that you just want to ask Dave a quick question, you can email there, or you can email Dave directly at his email address as well. We love to hear from customers, so however you find a way to get in touch with us, we will be sure to respond.
One other thing to talk about while we are seeing if there are any other questions, there are a number of events that are being scheduled that are HIMSS Braille Day events that will be scheduled around the country over the next couple of months, so keep on the lookout for those. Also, we've got a number of shows and conventions that we're going to be at. We're at Closing the Gap later next week. We're at GVEST, which is an education conference in Georgia this week. Those are two that I'm at over the next couple of weeks. We always have our events page where you can check out where HIMSS folks are going to be. We would love to see you. Come up to the booth and try out our stuff.
We do have another question. Has there been any progress on using the Braille Senti 2 as a Braille display for an online test navigation-wise? And then they said they wanted to try it with the SBAC, but the navigation was a little funky.
Okay, I guess a question with a question is a couple of things. One, part of that's going to depend on your screen reader. We did release significantly better drivers for navigation with HIMSS Braille displays with JAWS some time back that are available. I believe it was with one of the later versions of JAWS 16. A lot of the navigation at that point is dictated by the screen reader. So the short answer is I don't know. I know that we have vastly improved our navigation abilities in a lot of settings with JAWS. And if you want to try this or would like for us to try it in a specific environment, please contact me and we will be more than happy to do it.
Dave, would any of that be solved by using something like this Smart Beetle that has the keyboard emulation, the QWERTY keyboard emulation? Would that help at all, or is it really just a screen reader issue?
It's really more of a screen reader issue. The keyboard emulation is more aimed at getting characters that don't necessarily have easy to enter Braille equivalents. It's aimed at solving the keyboard emulator was originally done for the Asian market because of some of the hoops you had to jump through to get specific characters in Braille. It's also proven to be significantly easier to use for some folks in like an iOS environment where we handle the translation instead of the iOS device. But what this person was asking about is specific navigation, and that's going to be more up to the screen reader.
Right. Okay. We'll give maybe one more minute to see any other questions come through. We want to thank everyone for being with us today. Definitely check out our website to find out what new topics are coming. We've just added topics running through February, so there's a lot of new topics out there. And you just go to hims-inc.com/webinars. Or you can just go to the website and navigate along the top to news and then webinars, and you'll find it there. All of our upcoming webinars are listed there, and when the videos are prepared, we do email them first to the people who've registered, and then we do post them there as an archive. And again, the specific sections of this webinar that pertain to locking students in and out of features will be sort of cropped out of here. So if you're listening to this recorded webinar later and you see that information is missing, reach out to us. Email support@hims-inc.com and ask them for the instructions for turning on and off exam mode and function mode.
One other thing, if you do have suggestions for webinars, we are always looking for suggestions for the future, so please email us. Michelle gave the email addresses a bit ago. I think it's webinars@hims-inc.com. We'd be more than happy to hear from you.
Yep.
I have a question.
Sure.
Bring it on.
My name is Londa Peterson. I have a Braille Edge that I upgraded the firmware when you brought the firmware out the first time. Lost my Braille. Tech support fixed it, sent me a fix for it. Do I need to install the firmware again when it comes out, or am I good?
You're good. And we incorporated the fix that they sent you. Basically what happened for the folks who listened to it, we had some issues with firmware that we released that we didn't realize. We took it down, and now we're about to put it back out now that we fixed it again. But yet, no, you will not need to reinstall it. And you already have exam mode. You're ahead of the curve.
Not that I need it, but it's good that I have it.
And I'm sorry that we put you through such a long Friday night and long weekend.
That was not fun.
No. Well, and it was a horrible sinking feeling on our end.
I'm sure it
but
was.
No,
you weren't happy about it either.
No. But no, you're good to go.
The other thing is there with the JAWS driver now, is there a way to do function keys? I can do everything, it seems, almost but function keys.
I'm trying to think. I know that there's a way to do a lot of what you can do with function keys, but I don't think like I have a specific command for F6, whereas I do for, although, let me get back to you on that. I have to experiment.
Okay.
I know I can do things like close, go to the taskbar, go to the start menu, go to my task list. If I wanted to do like an insert F7, I can do that. I don't know if I could just do an F8, although I think there's a go to toolbar function. Most function keys, I believe we have a workaround for.
Okay, you just have to pop yourself in and out of typing mode, probably.
Yes, you do have to pop yourself in and out of typing mode.
Okay.
But keep in mind that those eight function keys on the Braille Edge do function correctly with JAWS. So you can go to the Start menu. You've got an Alt, Control tab, Shift tab, all of that stuff now.
I can get into Outlook and compose and send a new message. I can reply. I couldn't figure out how to do like a links list.
A linked list, you can, if you go out of typing mode and hit the letter L, it'll do it.
Okay.
I believe that's right, and if it's not, email me and I'll sit down in front. My computer is set up for the PowerPoint at the moment, so get in touch with me later and we'll figure it out.
Okay, yeah, I've got some of those commands. I just didn't know if you had to pop yourself in and out of typing mode to be able to
You do. You do need to
Okay.
go in and out of typing mode.
That helps.
Okay, thank you.
These have been great
Other
questions.
questions?
It's pretty quiet in the question window. I was going to say, if anyone wants to learn more about these features and other features, we've added, I think, close to 20 new videos to our website and to YouTube just within the last 30 days. So a lot of new stuff hitting pretty recently. Some of it's on low vision. A lot of it is about the U2 and the Edge and some of these new firmware updates that have come out. So definitely take a look on our website. You want to go to products and then find the product you're interested in, the Edge, the U2, whichever that is. And on that product, there's a tab that says video, and in that video tab, obviously, you're going to find some videos. Most of them are super short, little 1 minute, 2 minute things. It's not going to eat up a whole lot of time in your day, and we really just get direct to the point, show you how to use the feature, and call it good.
One other thing to keep in mind is we do have a Braille Sense curriculum developed in conjunction with the California School for the Blind. I believe that link is on our website. If it's not, we'll get it there, and we'll also send it to you. It goes through, there are 20-some-odd lessons, everything from opening a file to spell check to email, internet, Bookshare, National Library Service, you name it. So that's another really cool resource for you.
And then another, I guess it's a comment more than a question. It says, web navigation on Braille Sense U2 video would be awesome. So, Dave, put that on your list of videos to create.
I will do that. I'm writing it down as we speak. So we will try to get that done. I can't swear when, but we have that on the list of things that we need to do. So thank you.
Good idea. All right. Well, thank you.
And use that CSB curriculum for that. We have a whole section on web navigation on the California School for the Blind curriculum. And whoever that is out there, if you'll send me an email at dave@hims-inc.com, I'll send you a direct link.
Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We know it's a busy work week for everyone, and it's not always easy to carve out time for stuff like this. So we are really happy that you joined us today for this. And, Dave, thank you so much for being our presenter today.
I enjoyed it. It's been too long. Let's do it again soon.
All right, and we hope to see you guys again next month. Thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.